What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about some words that Brits pronounce differently. Or, I guess, if you're British, you could say these are words that us Americans pronounce differently, but we all really know that we Americans pronounce words the correct way, the American way. Oh, yeah, right? Right? No? Okay, well, joking aside, I thought it would be fun to learn about how some common words are actually pronounced in Britain by checking out this video by Lost in the Pond. So let's take a look.
You always bring me up on this. This is Adidas.
Adidas.
Say what now? That is incredible to me. How does that even happen? Like, this is a brand name, Adidas, but we pronounce it differently? How does that even happen? Like, linguistically, I don't know. How did he say that?
Oh, you always bring me up on this. This is Adidas.
Adidas.
Adidas. Really segmenting it, really enunciating Adidas. Whereas us Americans, I don't know, maybe we're lazy and we're just like, Adidas. All at once. Adidas. Adidas. In all truth, I'm okay with that. If you look at this word and nobody told you how to say it, Adidas. That's fair. That is a valid way to pronounce it. I'll concede that.
Yeah. Advertisement.
Advertisement.
Whoa. Whoa. Okay. My generosity only goes so far. What is this now? Advertisement? Am I doing that correctly? Right. So, I don't want to turn this into some kind of like judging thing, but let's determine which one makes more sense. Advertisement versus advertisement. Advertisement. I'm really like, have you ever just stared at a word and really thought about how should it be pronounced? When you really think about it, which I don't very often, to be completely honest, you start to realize there are several different ways you can pronounce different syllables and vowel sounds and stuff like that. Advertise. We start out the same. Advert and advertise and advertise. That's where we diverge from advertise, advertise. I mean, it also makes sense, and it also sounds kind of fancy to me. I kind of like it.
This is not an advertisement for Lost in the Pond or for Adidas. We should point that out. Not a sponsored ad.
Not at all.
Oh, this one is controversial.
Controversial? Yeah, maybe it's controversial because it's not even a word. What is this? I've never seen this word in my life. Is that just me? Is this a common British word? Is this a common American word? Am I just out of the loop? What does this mean? A-itch? This is a good test, actually. I was just talking about if you see a word for the first time, how do you instinctually pronounce it? I'd say a-itch. What is this?
So I actually do pronounce this H, right? But I think when I was younger, it was H. A lot of British people do pronounce it that way.
Not even younger. You've pronounced it H since I met you.
What, I was younger then.
A lot younger, I guess.
Come on.
H.
Hold on. Stop the presses. I gotta look this up. How do you spell this? A-I-T-C-H? What is this? It's the stage name of Harrison James Armstrong. See, Google doesn't even... You look up this word, and Google doesn't even know what this is. It is the letter H? The definition of this is the letter H? I'm so confused. I am so very confused. Let's keep going.
What are you on don't. Well, I was younger then.
A lot younger, I guess.
Come on.
H.
Now, here's the thing. I pronounce this aluminum because it's spelled aluminum. But if it was spelled the British way, aluminium, I would pronounce it thus.
Whoa! Whoa. Whoa. Some of these are genuinely shocking to me. Like, we speak the same language, English. But I swear, you might not know it if you just heard some of the differences. Aluminum versus aluminium? You know what I'm noticing here? And, we've only seen a couple of words. The British pronunciation, you really emphasize every syllable. Aluminium. A lot of mouth movement. Where Americans, for whatever reason, are just like, aluminum. Aluminum. Like, just all at once. Aluminium. Wait a minute. All right, this is the first pronunciation I genuinely have questions about. I genuinely have a problem with. This might not be better than the American pronunciation. Controversial to say, I know. Where does the minium come from? At the end, neum, aluminium. It's not spelled. It's not spelled that way. How do you aluminum? I think it's aluminum.
Aluminum. There really is only one.
Banana.
Banana.
Oh my.
Banana. That was such a random word. That's very random to me. Suddenly there was a British man saying banana. Right? All of a sudden. Banana. That's just like a different A sound. Banana. Banana. I will say, putting aluminium aside, the British pronunciations are very pleasant in a strange way. Banana. It just flows better. It's more gentle. And somehow, I've never thought of it like this. We're like, banana. Give me a banana. Every American is just like that, I swear. Versus banana. I like banana.
Much different, really. Another food item and, a person's name. I call this basil, like Basil Fawlty.
Basil.
Yeah, I mean, basil. I just, either one, I don't feel strongly about that.
For sure, brochure. Doesn't rhyme.
But it does when I say it. Brochure.
Brochure? Brochure? Is that the difference? It's just like where you put emphasis.
For sure, brochure.
Brochure versus brochure. That's so weird. That's like the same way of pronouncing it, but the emphasis is in a different spot. That's the only difference.
Doesn't rhyme.
But it does when I say it. Brochure.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? That's not fair. Yeah, maybe I'll adopt your pronunciation of that.
Ha!
For sure.
I like rhyme.
That's interesting. Brochure.
Yes, this one caught me off guard because I'm a practicing Buddhist. I'm not, but still.
Oh.
Whenever it's spoken about, I would say Buddha.
I say Buddha.
Buddha. We say Buddha, yeah. I mean, when you look at it, it's B-U. Buh. It's not B-O-O. Boo. Boo. Buddha. It actually, when you look at it, it's Buddha. I agree with the British pronunciation here.
I'm not sure why. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't have the two O's.
Yeah.
Language doesn't make sense, does it, Tara?
Not at all.
Easy one, this. Jimmy Buffett.
No, the word, not the name.
Buffet.
That's what I say.
Is it? But you don't put like a weird emphasis on it?
Buffet. This is just the same? Something that Britain and America can just bond over and agree on is buffet.
Or anything like that?
Buffet.
Buffet, but I say buffet.
Oh.
Oh, that again. The emphasis is different. Buffet. Buffet. How did that happen? Who came up with that? Buffet. 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 I could just sit here all day and do this.
Yes, here's an example of a British homophone. We pronounce this just as you would pronounce the word boy, as in boy and girl.
Buoy.
Buoy.
Yes, not a common word, is it? But buoy. That thing that floats out in the ocean. A buoy. It doesn't really look like buoy when you look at it enough, does it? It's not like B-U-E-Y, buoy. Boy. The British way might make more sense, actually.
We.
That's the way that I've always said it. Lifebuoy soap is Lifebuoy soap. But I don't think it's B-O-Y. I think it's B-U-O-Y.
Again, not a sponsored ad for soap. Ah, yes, this was one of the big ones when I moved to the US because...
Oh, I'm interested in this one. Because in the maybe he's about to say this, but in the United States, different Americans from different areas say this word in different ways.
There's a place in Indiana called Carmel. We'll get onto that in just a second. My pronunciation of this word is caramel.
Yeah.
As is mine.
What?
So it depends on where you grew up in the United States. I've heard caramel. I've heard caramel. When you read it phonetically, it should probably be caramel. I'm guessing in Britain, that's the only way of saying this. I don't know where the caramel comes from. I've heard that a lot. And I've accepted that as normal here. But maybe it shouldn't be.
But the place is Carmel.
Yeah, but I've heard you say caramel or something.
I say caramel.
Do you really? But some Americans don't, do they?
No, some of them
Yeah.
say caramel.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's got quite a regional difference.
Caramel and caramel are spelt differently too.
I know that. I've just heard people pronounce the two the same way.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, this was Tara's former profession to me. She was my chauffeur.
I was never a paid chauffeur for him.
How did you pronounce it?
Chauffeur.
See, you're getting the sort of...
Again, with this... It's not even... I guess we're pronouncing it differently, but this is really interesting to me. I didn't realize there were so many British words that are not only different pronunciation. Like, I think we say missile. I think you say missile, or it was something like that. This is like we say it the same with different emphasis. Chauffeur. That's so funny to me.
the French down there, I think, right? Usually we're bad at Spanish and you're bad at French. And speaking of Spanish, I used to pronounce this Chile. And I think most people in Britain do, but I've since evolved my pronunciation because of this one.
Well, it's Chile because it's the place, Chile. But
Whoa. Okay, now we're just getting a little too fancy here. Every American ever would say Chile. Even the country, we'd say Chile. Perhaps the proper way to say that is Chile, but let's be completely honest here. All Americans say Chile. Sounds like all Brits say Chile, too.
But if you were to eat chili, that would be chili.
Chile. It's chilly up north. That's another definition of the word.
But we
Different
would still
spelling.
say chili.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a good one. So when I was a kid, I used to colour in inside the lines. I must make that.
Okay, before they start, I'm going to give my take on this word. Apparently, there's several ways to pronounce this in America. I didn't even realize that for a very long time. Apparently, I say this word strange. Strangely. I have always called this a crayon. For better or worse, a crayon. I'm looking at the word. I will admit that is not how you should say this word, but it's how I grew up saying it. Most Americans, I think, say crayon. And now I'm curious how British people say this.
That clear with a crayon.
He didn't.
Crayon.
Because I've seen his artwork from when he was younger. But I say crayon as well.
I was Artist of the Year in Year 7.
So the British and American pronunciation is basically the same. Apparently, there are some Americans like myself that say crayon. I think most say crayon, though.
However, there are lots of Americans who say crayon.
One vowel. Ah, yes, another
Yeah.
example of the French going weird in America. I pronounce this croissant. Which
No way. Really? British people really do the full French pronunciation? Like, I know this is a French thing. And Americans, we like to joke about this word and be like, can you pass a croissant? Like, kind of poking fun at how we would never say it like that. We say croissant. which, I mean, looking at the word croissant, maybe that's barbaric. I think if you look at the word, you can see croissant in this.
Which, that's super French, even for England, isn't it?
I mean, we say croissant if we're saying it American, but I say croissant as well.
No, but no American actually says croissant, like, in a serious way. Like, no one will take you seriously in America if you say croissant. I apologize to French people. I know that's how you're supposed to say it, but America's gonna do what America does.
Yeah, well, because you're pretentious like me.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the Bond actor, still haven't seen any of those films. Shame
Daniel Craig. This is a person's name. Okay.
on me. But I pronounce his name Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig.
Oh, Craig. We say Craig. It probably is Craig. That's a level of specificity I've never thought about. But you can see the A and the I. The British pronunciation wins out again.
What revelation? That is a genuine revelation to me.
Yeah, I'd say Craig if it was like a first name, but I think that Daniel Craig has been in the news enough that even in America we would say his name Daniel Craig.
No, I have to disagree. I think 90% of Americans say Daniel Craig. Like, I didn't even know how you spelled his last name. I thought it was Daniel Craig. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. I don't think any Americans say Daniel Craig.
I suppose the fact that he's British as well, you hear that pronunciation quite often.
Right.
But if it was the first name Craig...
It's funny because maybe I've heard people say Daniel Craig. I can barely discern that in my ear. When you say Craig, I hear Craig. Like, now that we're talking about it, I understand there is a difference there, but it doesn't matter if British people in the tabloids say, "Oh, Daniel Craig in the latest scandal." It's like, I hear Daniel Craig.
Craig.
It'd be Craig.
Wow. Craigslist, right?
Yeah, Craigslist.
Yeah.
In fact, perfect. When Daniel Craig made his first appearance as Bond, he made his debut.
His debut.
Well, this is...
Man, there's so many words that do this. Gosh, now I'm just thinking about if you were an American trying to do a British accent, it's not even, to be convincing, it's not just that you have to get the accent down. You have to learn the pronunciations of all these random words. That's impossible. Versus what'd they say? What was that word? Debut? And debut. Versus debut. Like, that seems impossible.
This is similar, isn't it? Where we park the buses, all of the buses in England is called the depot.
And we say depot.
Depot. Depot? Let me go back here. Depot. I don't know why we're different, but they both make sense to me. That's like the theme of today, I think. The theme of today is both make sense to me. There's no right way to do it. Or the British way is strictly better. Or there was one word where the American way was better. What was that word? Where I was adamant. Adamant. What? Gosh, what was it? Aluminum. That was the one victory for America today. The rest, I think, British or equal, basically. But yeah, it's language. It's a beautiful thing. The differences that we have. It's fascinating to learn about. But I think I'm going to stop here for now. This is quite a lot of fun for me. I really had no idea our language was this different. Truly. Like, pretty mind-blowing stuff, actually. But I enjoyed it. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on British versus American pronunciation. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Britain and learning about British culture, feel free to subscribe for more. Until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.